Hey, Forrest here. Nothing like getting paid. And with ICCU's mobile app, I can deposit checks or accept Zelle payments so the money hits my account fast. I just wish there was an app for mowing the rest of these lawns.
Right now, Lithia Ford of Boise is buying used vehicles. How much you want for the SUV?
I don't know.
Well, Lithia Ford will give you more than that.
How much more?
More than you think.
I'm not thinking anything.
I'm thinking you might get even more than that. See how much more you can get at Lithia Ford of Boise.
When it comes to concrete, we've got you covered. RowPaint.com offers custom concrete coating services for your garage, business, warehouse, and more. And we do it in one day. We are your complete concrete coatings solution.
It's time for the Lithia Ford of Boise postgame show from Bronco Nation News. We're breaking down the game with highlights, interviews, analysis, and most importantly, you. Give your thoughts on the game in the YouTube chat or Facebook comments, and we'll include the best ones on the show. Check out LithiaFordBoise.com to view their full inventory of vehicles, or check them out at 8853 West Fairview in Boise. Today's broadcast is coming from the Cutwater Spirits Canned Cocktail Studios. Check out one of their more than 30 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails at your local gas station or grocery store. Now let's head out and join BJ Rains for the Lithia Ford of Boise post-game show from Bronco Nation News.
Hey, how we doing, Boise State fans? Welcome on in. Let me know if you can hear me okay. We should be good to go. We are high atop the Liberty Bowl Stadium here. We're actually in the Boise State radio booth, and we've got plenty to talk about on this one. Boise State falling 35-32. The Broncos had a 17-0 lead, and it just went downhill from there. We got the field goal decision, the blocked field goal coming back for a touchdown. We have a quarterback controversy, I think it is fair to say at this point. So much to talk about after that one. And Boise State falls to 2-3. They'll get back into Mountain West play starting next week against San Jose State. My name is BJ Rains. This is the Lithia Ford of Boise post-game show. We appreciate everybody for checking us out here on the Bronco Nation News social media channels, whether you're on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter. We appreciate you. We do ask you go over to the YouTube channel. That is where we have the chat going, the YouTube chat. You can get in there, chat with each other, and we'll put the best comments up on the screen. So if you are on Facebook or Twitter, we ask you to jump on over to YouTube, and the web address is just youtube.com/Bronco Nation News. So we have the full comments from Andy Avalos. We will get to those shortly. We're going to let the viewership build a little bit here, but we will play the full Andy Avalos comments on his decision to not kick the field goal and his decision not to go for it on fourth down and to kick the field goal, and then the quarterback position. And he did not say for sure that Taylon Green is his starting quarterback moving forward. And you guys, I know sometimes like to rip on the media, say we won't ask the tough questions, whatever, but there were 3 questions about the fourth down and 3 or 4 about the quarterback situation. So I think that my media friends deserve some credit here. I thought we all did a good job asking the questions that needed to be asked there after the game. So we're going to get to those comments here shortly. We're up to 94 people and rising that are watching this right now, and we'll get those thoughts and comments in. So get your comments in, get your thoughts in. By the way, Ahmad Hassanein, wait till you hear his thoughts. He took blame for the loss. He said he could have made a play, and he was emotional, and he says he loves Andy Avalos, and to a man, everybody in that locker room still believes and loves Andy Avalos. So if the fans are maybe done with Andy, the players certainly don't seem to be. And wait till you hear from him, emotional Ahmad Hassanein here in a little bit. We'll play that video, and he defended his coach, defended the team and what's going on. But Boise State, 35-32 loss. Again, they led 17-0 in this game, 519 yards of offense, but just couldn't make a stop when they needed to. I mean, you can certainly blame the offense at times. You can blame the defense at times. Once Maddox Madsen brought them down and they got that touchdown, there was still 7 or 8 minutes left in the game, and they just could not get the stop when they needed to defensively. So just really surprising. They started out great defensively, and they had a fourth down stop. They had the 3 and out to start the game. I mean, the defense played really well to start the game. And then they just, for whatever reason, once Boise State got up 17-0, the game flipped pretty quickly there. And they got those 2 touchdowns right before halftime, which I thought were huge. And then obviously the momentum switched there with late in the third quarter, 1:43 to go, the 80-yard blocked field goal return. And again, Boise State was lined up to go for it. They snapped the ball, but Andy Avalos got the timeout just in time, and then they were decided to go ahead and kick the field goal instead. It got blocked, it got returned. Boise State was losing all of a sudden 21-17, and it went downhill from there. So again, this is Lithia Florida Boise post-game show from high atop the Liberty Bowl Stadium. So we appreciate everybody that is checking us out. This is going to be fun tonight. So I guess maybe fun in a different way. I know you guys are all disappointed. You're all ticked off after the loss, and I get it. And certainly for, don't really care who wins in the media, but certainly when your business is called Bronco Nation News, it's probably better for business when the team wins. So obviously a disappointing one tonight for all of you. And I understand that. There's 117 of you in there right now venting in the chat. And let's, keep it coming. Give us your thoughts. We're here. We'll talk this through together. We'll have our therapy session here and try to get through this and put it behind us, and then get ready for next week when they return to conference play. But I guess that's the only silver lining, and I know a lot of you don't want to hear it, but non-conference game, so doesn't impact moving forward the Mountain West Championship and what could happen there. So I guess if you're looking for a silver lining, that would be it. So we will get a poll question up in the chat. Who should be the starting quarterback next week, Talon Green or Maddox Madsen? We will get that up in the YouTube chat. Give us your answers to that here shortly. I think there's an argument for both. I think there's an argument to go ahead and go to Maddox Madsen and so let's see what he can do. The offense certainly appears to move better, at least the passing game when Maddox has been in there. But I also think you risk losing Talon Green. If Talon Green doesn't start, I'm not sure he's on this team next year, to be honest with you. So I think it's a very interesting situation. Boise State's in a tough spot now, and I think you've got a full-fledged quarterback controversy here. And sometimes you have to make decisions that are, for the long term as well as the short term. I think that played into Hank Bachmeier last year, when he was still the starting quarterback, as long as he was, when people were wanting him benched earlier in the season. If I had to guess right now and make a prediction for you guys, I think Talon Green starts at quarterback next week against San Jose State, but I think Maddox Madsen plays more than he obviously did in this game. I don't know if they're quite ready to officially just hand the keys to Maddox Madsen. And if Maddox Madsen's your starter, he's playing the whole game. So I think Talon Green, my prediction right now, and that could change throughout the week, but I think that Talon Green will still start against San Jose State next week, but I think Maddox Madsen will play more. But are you guys really ready to give up on Talon Green? This we're talking about next year, him possibly being in the Heisman conversation and all the things that he can do. Certainly it's been a rough start to the season. I thought he ran the ball a little better. Tonight I thought he kept the ball and did some things with his legs, but I also, recognize that the passing game really still hasn't been there. 12 of 24. He only completes 50% of his passes. He did pass for 200 yards tonight, but still didn't think there was a ton of downfield passing from Talon Green tonight, or this afternoon. So I wonder if they're quite ready to fully give up on Talon Green, because if you start Maddox Madsen against San Jose State, I think you're essentially saying the Talon Green era at Boise State is over. Whether he transfers, whether you just stick with Madsen, I don't know. But again, my personal opinion, I'm guessing that Talon Green starts against San Jose, but they'll make sure that they get some playing time for Maddox Madsen in there as they move forward. So a lot of comments, a lot of questions. Let's get to some of these. I want to thank a couple of our sponsors also, and I want to get right to the interview of Andy Avalos talking with the media. We're at 126 now, so we'll continue to let the viewership build for just a couple of minutes, and then we'll get right to the comments from Andy Avalos, where I think it's safe to say he was challenged pretty good by the media about the fourth down play and about the quarterback situation moving forward. So 128 of you now, and we'll get to some comments here, and then we'll get to the interviews. 131, we're rising here. So thank you to all of you for checking us out. Again, if you're new or just checking us out for the first time, we do this after every game. We have pregame shows. We do morning shows. You can see down there the promo code at the bottom of the screen, BNN50 deal. BNN 50 deal gets you a full year subscription to BroncoNationNews.com. Mike Prater, can't wait to read his column tomorrow, what he's going to have on this one. You know Jordan's not going to go easy on Andy tonight either. So you want to read our exclusive content from the game, $50 one-time fee for the entire year, and that gets you all the way through basketball season and into next football season as well. So we sent 2 reporters down here, me and Jordan. We're making the investment. Hopefully you guys can return the favor. And these are free YouTube shows, but the content still costs money. It was well over multiple $1,000s to send 2 reporters halfway across the country for a weekend to cover this game. So if you're able and willing, and we'd love to have you support us with a $50 subscription to BNN. You get a daily email that we're starting back up. You get a lot of cool things, some subscriber-only shows, and then you also get all the content, like I said. So these shows are free, but if you're able to do the subscription, $50 for a full year using the promo code BNN50 deal, or we have the $6.99 a month option as well on the monthly option. So appreciate all of you guys for that. This kind of sums it up here. That was rough. 4-8 bound, according to Grand Tetons. I don't quite think it's going to be that bad. I agree with Creamy Cold Boise here, but is this team beating Fresno State right now? Is this team beating Air Force? There's still some games they certainly could lose. Colorado State. I think that's going to be a challenge in a couple of weeks. So 2-3. You got to go a long time back since they were 2-3. I knew we were going to have a lot of this. Randy says Andy's got to go. Josh says I'm done with the coaching staff. Calling for BNN's Mike Sanford to come back as head coach at Boise State. Wouldn't that be something if Mike Sanford got the head coaching job? I think we would get some good access at BNN. We could tell you that. That would be awesome. But I don't know if Mike wants to get back into the coaching business yet. He's having a fun time coaching his daughter's softball team and hanging out with his family and friends, and a deserved break for Mike Sanford. So I don't know if he's quite ready to jump back into it. Who's ready to make the move from Andy? Fire Avalos. Let's see. Andy needs to go. Wish you could have your optimism. The team is god-awful. Proud of the team. They played hard. Hope this game earned Maddox the start. He had the team working much better than it had all year. The offense, the rhythm just does it just looks a little smoother, a little better on the passing game when Maddox Madsen is in there. Now, you could say maybe Memphis was in the prevent a little bit because they were up by 10 points or whatever on that one drive, and so maybe there was some underneath passes and things they were able to get. But it certainly seems like they can move the ball passing wise when Maddox Madsen's in the game. So flashbacks to the 2021 UCF game. Bob, I don't know if that's the secret Jay Tuss account or not, but Jay Tuss was sitting right next to me during the game and said the exact same thing. Boise State gets up 17-0. I believe it was 21-0 in the UCF game, and then it just kind of spiraled out of control from there and went down the hill. 153 of you now watching this, so we're going to keep letting the viewership build, and then we will play Andy Avalos speaking to the media here in less than 5 minutes because it was great stuff, and we'll probably maybe play it again later in the show, at least the parts about the quarterback and maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll just play the quarterback and the fourth down stuff and then save the rest for a little later in the show. Let's see what else we have on the comments here. Good effort from the players, just not very good right now. Maddox Green, a la Rip and Cozart may be the way to go. Let's see. Media is great at asking questions. The feeling of this coach needing to be gone need to be warranted. Let's see. Relevant questions. Glad they were asked. Yeah, I did post a small version of it to social media earlier. Wait till you hear the Ahmad Hassanein comments, man. This dude blamed himself and was almost in tears after the game. So give a lot of credit to Ahmad Hassanein for that. Let's go ahead and thank some of our sponsors real quick. We have a 90-second block of advertisements here while the viewership grows, and we will play Andy Avalos' comments to the media. Interesting comments. Can't wait to hear your thoughts on them. We'll do that in 90 seconds. But first, let's thank a couple of our great sponsors. All Bronco Nation news broadcasts come from the Cutwater Spirits Canned Cocktail Studios. Check out one of their more than 30 flavors of premix premium cocktails at your local gas station or grocery store. Cutwater Spirits, perfect for your next game day tailgate party. Our title sponsor is rowpaint.com. For all your commercial, industrial, residential painting needs, check out rowpaint.com. Don't forget about their concrete coatings. Transform that ugly concrete slab on your back patio in your garage in just one day. Contact rowpaint.com for a free estimate today. The official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics, and our title sponsor at Bronco Nation News is rowpaint.com. Idaho Central Credit Union's been helping members achieve financial success for more than 80 years. There's an ICCU branch on almost every corner, but the closest is in your pocket with free eBranch mobile and online banking. See why more than 500,000 members love ICCU and join 1 in 4 Idahoans by making the switch today at ICCU.com. Since 1984, Ridley's Family Markets has prided itself on being a hometown food and drug store that employed value members of the local community. Ridley's Family Markets has 13 locations in the state of Idaho and many more in the surrounding states. Download the new Ridley's app to your smartphone, get savings up to 40% off at the checkout line, and find a location near you at shopridleys.com. Former Bronco Matt Bauscher is once again the number 1 ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley. No home is too big or too small for Matt and his team. Let them fulfill all your real estate needs at BauscherRealEstate.com. All right, let's hear from Andy Avalos. We got some other comments coming in. Time for Spencer Danielson to go. I was wondering when we were going to start to get some Spencer Danielson talk. He's got a great track record. He's a player's coach. They love him. I don't think it's time for that, but he deserves a little bit of heat. I think that's warranted based on how much they have struggled here of late. I mean, 5 games in, this defense right now is just not very good. And is it coaching or are the players just not good enough? The guys that all left for the NFL or the guys that replaced them just not good enough. I think that was certainly part of it when it comes down to it. But let's hear from Andy Avalos. He's going to make his opening statement, and then he gets grilled about the 4th down play and then the quarterbacks, and then we'll stop it and talk about it for a little while. So tell your friends, hit the subscribe button in the bottom of the screen here. Subscribe on YouTube. Help us out. Subscribe at BroncoNationNews.com. Share this video. Retweet it, relike it wherever you're watching it. Help us spread the word. Here is the head coach at Boise State, Andy Avalos, after the loss.
Statement from coach, and then we will take some questions.
Obviously, it was a disappointing result and end and finish to the game today. As we leave the non-conference and move into the conference games, that's not how we wanted to end the non-conference games. We were able to, through the non-conference, we were able to learn a lot of lessons for this young team. Our leadership, is continuing to help us grow. For us as coaches, starting with me, I will make sure that we are more consistent from drive to drive, quarter to quarter, as we've shown as we started this game, but did not have a consistency throughout it. Offensively, we were able to put some points up early in the game, and we went on a dry spell there where we didn't score until later in the game, and when we put Mad Dog in, and obviously Mad Dog did a nice job leading the team down the field on 2 drives where we're really efficient in the pass game, and we're able to put points up on the board in a very quick manner. Late in the game, we needed a defensive stop, and we didn't get it. That comes down to me. I've got to do a better job making sure that we're prepared for all situations on the defense side of the ball, and making sure that we understand the different field zones and how we're going to play those field zones given the down and distance and the situations, and make sure that not only we can leverage formations but handle run plays and pass plays given. And we've done it before, and I will make sure as we move forward in a conference play we do a better job with that. In the special teams game, we say every week it's going to come down to a play, and it certainly did today. In a situation where we had an opportunity to put points on the board, it was a flip of points, and it goes the other way as we got a field goal block. So things that we can correct that can't happen in critical situations like that, and we must learn and move forward again as we go into conference play.
Since you finished with the field goal, I guess we'll start with that. What was kind of your decision there? You were originally going to go for it?
Right, we were looking for a certain look, and to be able to get that look as the offense was working on the field, and the time was getting low on the play clock. So, we wanted to go for it. We had a certain play called, and to take advantage of a certain look we were anticipating, and we weren't able to get that look. So the goal there was to absolutely get points on the board, and we didn't get that done ultimately. We felt like we had an opportunity to even maybe get 7, if not 7, then at least get 3.
Obviously, you're not expecting that to happen, but how do you weigh the 3 versus if you go for it and don't get it, they've got to go the full length of the field there? I mean, what kind of goes into the process of deciding to go, other than the look?
It's not that complicated. We get the look we want, we go for it on 4th. If we don't, we kick the field goal. We got a very good field goal kicker.
You say get the look you want. You guys snapped the ball, so you had the look for a long time. Like, why did it take so long to call the timeout there?
We called the timeout, and by the time the refs in the middle of the field heard the whistle blown, that already snapped the ball. But
Hey, obviously there's a decision made there with Taylor at the end of the game.
Yeah.
What went into that, and what did you see?
Yeah, we knew going into the game that we're going to give Mad Dog a drive, the third series of the game. You know, we want to continue to build the depth of our team. He obviously showed today that he is very efficient in the pass game. And so as we moved later into the game and it turned into, you know, a 2-score game, and we knew we were need to get points on the board pretty quickly, that was the option to go to. And, you know, not only did we spread the ball around, not only did we score the 2 touchdowns quickly, again, we needed a defense stop in that situation, and that's on me. We didn't get that defense stop. We get the defense stop. We saw what Mad Dog and the offense was doing at that point, and that's what we anticipated happening if Mad Dog went in the game.
Hey, what do you feel like the offense operates a little bit better, at least in the passing game with Maddox in there? I mean, it feels like everything's just a little more on time, or within the timing of the offense, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, his feel in terms of his reads and the progressions and going through it. I mean, he put the ball in some pretty tight windows. It wasn't like those were all easy throws, and it wasn't like guys were wide open. And so, again, there's a reason why we gave him an opportunity at the beginning of the game. We want to continue to develop everybody on our roster as we go into conference play. We've got a lot of games left to play, and we want to make sure that we're putting ourselves in the right position. You know, as we move forward, we got 2 quarterbacks that are very capable, and so. Now finding the mixture of what that looks like, what's best for our offense, ultimately what's best for our team is, you know, what we'll decide on as we move forward.
Will there be a competition between
Again, we'll look at what's best for our team and we'll move forward.
So would you say that Taylor Green is still your starting quarterback?
We'll look at what's best for our team and we'll move forward. But thank you for continuing to ask. I'm not going to make that decision right now. We're going to go back and we're going to watch film and we're going to evaluate. We're going to make decisions as we always do as a staff.
We'll pause it there for a minute. Not ready to make a decision. Let us know your thoughts on what he said right there. Not ready to make a decision. I was starting to get a little irritated that the questions were continue to be asked. There's a train passing, by the way. There cannot be a worse spot for a train to go by than literally right by the edge of the stadium. We got caught in it for 10 minutes trying to park, and now the horn's going off for the train whistle, so I apologize if you can hear that. They're also very loud, taking down the ESPN broadcast crew next door, so I apologize for that. But what'd you make of Andy Avalos' comments on the 4th down play, on the not deciding to go for it like they originally were, the QB situation there? What are your thoughts? Is that what he said good enough? Who do you think should be the starting quarterback next week? I'm curious. We're going to have a poll question coming up on Andy Avalos here in a little bit. We're going to do the quarterback one first. I think you got to stick with Green too. I really do. Oh, that's a good one, JD. I'm just going to leave that there. That's funny, man. You guys are fired up tonight. Recycles his own excuses. He did take a little bit of blame. I will say this: that was the first time where he kind of said it's on me. He really has said we and us coaches a lot in the past, but he did say I need to do better. I will work harder. Whatever the phrase was, he said I in terms of taking some of the blame for this one. The 4th down play didn't lose the game. It didn't, but you're up 17-14 at that point, and if you score, then you got a chance to make it a double-digit game again. Could have been 27-17. If you don't score, then you're making Memphis go like 95 yards or whatever it is down the field. I just think the chance that I get it. You're not, is this a different story if he makes the field goal? Are we still talking about this? Obviously, that backfired big time by the field goal getting blocked. But I still think that I still think either way the decision. And again, it's hindsight's 2020. I get it, but even if you don't get it, you're making them have to go 95, 96, whatever yards it would have been down the field, and I just, you're not expecting the field goal to be blocked. I get it. That doesn't happen very often. But I just felt like the risk reward there, go for the touchdown. And if not, make them go the length of the field on you there late in the 3rd quarter. That was just a big time, big time swing in the game. It really was. Carson says, honestly, feels like they played their best football so far. Passing game got going, no turnovers, didn't give up 500 yards. How do you guys feel about that? Was this Boise State's best game of the season, even though they lost? I agree with some of what you said there, Carson, and it was good to see your dad, by the way, down here, and Travis and everybody. It was fun to see them, but I mean, there were some things that were really nice. And again, they got up to a 17-0 lead, and you're thinking it's going to be a nice, easy win, and it's looking good. And then those 2 touchdowns they got right before halftime, I thought were huge to really kind of swing the momentum and get them back into the game. And now they're, left in quite the pickle here with the quarterback situation. Once they went to Maddox Madsen, I will say this: if they would have won the game, if they would have come back and won that game behind Maddox Madsen, if the defense could have got a stop and the offense would have scored, I think Maddox Madsen probably would have had to start next week. But I'm not quite ready to give up on Talon Green. I still think Talon Green is probably your starting quarterback moving forward here. I just think that's probably what's going to happen. We got more of Andy Avalos to play, but I want to play some of Ahmad Hassanein. I thought he was very emotional. He took the loss for himself. After the game, I saw him talking to Andy Avalos after the game, and we asked him about what he said to him. But again, this is talk about accountability. Ahmad Hassanein was not the reason Boise State lost tonight, but he says it was him. He takes the blame for a lot of this, and we'll get to that in just a second. We're going to finish Andy's comments, and of course, we want all of your continued comments as well. But I do want to take this time to thank Ball Ventures Alquist, Tommy Alquist and Company, BVA, one of our proud sponsors here at Bronco Nation News. We're very thankful for BVA, Idaho's premier commercial real estate development company, specialized projects in office, retail, flex, medical, and industrial spaces located at some of the most strategic and visible locations in the valley. If you need a developer or you're looking for new space, think BVA. At BVA, we are Idaho's developer. We'll be live Thursday at 9 a.m. from BVA at Topgolf doing a broadcast, so make sure you check that out. And Taco Bell, want to thank them as well. The Nicolason family, SON Management, proudly operating Taco Bell restaurants in and around the Treasure Valley since 1969. They give hundreds of thousands of dollars to Boise State for student-athlete scholarships. They're the second to commit to the Lyle Smith Society, the $7-figure million-dollar donation. So they're doing a lot for the local community in Boise State. They're hiring too, so check out TacoBellWorks.com. You want some more information on getting a job, or if you want to find out about the donating and the giving efforts they're doing to Boise State. Again, check them out at Lithia Ford Boise. .com. And I mentioned Travis Hawks in the Blue and Orange store. Check them out as well. The blueandorange.store.com. Free shipping. Any order over $40, or if you're in the Boise area, you just go check out the Boise Town Square Mall there on the second floor next to Pro Image. All your coaches' sideline apparel, jerseys, hats, bumper stickers, all the Talon Green, Ashton Genty NIL hats that they designed. You can pick those up and get them at the Blue and Orange store. And we appreciate the Blue and Orange store for their support. And enjoyed seeing Travis down on Beale Street, and one of our biggest sponsors, the Blue and Orange store. So we hope next time you're looking for Boise State gear, you will check out our friends at the Blue and Orange store. So Josh is already done with football season. When is the first basketball game? They got a scrimmage on Saturday. Come on out to Extra Mile Arena, 3:30 p.m. on Saturday. You get a free scrimmage to see them scrimmage each other before the football, before the football game, and that'll be next Saturday before the San Jose State game. And I think 3:30 is scrimmage time, so you can check out the basketball team there. Let's see. Ahmed is so awesome. Really like that young man. He didn't bench number one running back in the country on 4th and 1 with a panic timeout. I get it. Ian doesn't care what look the defense shows. Give the damn ball to Genty. Yeah, I mean, he's leading the nation in scrimmage yards. You don't think he can get 1 yard there? Memphis did do a better job. Give Memphis some credit. They kind of bottled him up a little bit tonight. They obviously made it a big to do on their list to try to stop him. He had 82 yards rushing on 23 carries, only averaged 3.6 yards per carry. But let's be honest, if it was 4th and 1 and they direct snap it to him, or they give it to him and he doesn't get it, are any of us criticizing it? I mean, they gave the ball to their best player to try to get 1 yard. So I think Ashton Genty should have got the ball there on 4th down. I think they should have gone for it. And, it didn't work out. It's looked even worse because the field goal got blocked in return for a touchdown. If they had made the field goal and still, lost the game, we would have been talking about it, but maybe not as bad. It's obviously magnified by the blocked kick. And so hindsight is 20/20 on that. But I do think that 4th and 1, you get one of the best players in the country. You just take your chances that he's going to get you a yard, and if you don't, you say, "Oh well," and you move on. So let's hear from Ahmad Hassanein again. Some very emotional comments here after the game.
That final stop down there and give your offense, a chance. I guess how disappointing was that?
I mean, it's very disappointing. I take full responsibility for it. My job was just to get Curry knockback and make that tackle. Obviously, we need to do our 1/11 for the team, and I just take full responsibility for it because I think it hit my gap. but I promise I'll be better for my team.
I noticed that you walked over to Andy and said something after the game. What'd you tell your coach?
I love him. I love him and I appreciate him for everything he does. He does a lot for us that nobody knows about. And I just told him I'll do anything for him. That guy just sacrificed a lot of his time, a lot of his family time for us. And especially with me, he spends a ton of time with me. And he spends a ton of coaching with me. So I told him I appreciate him for what he's doing, and told him that I'm sorry that I could have done my job better. And if better is possible, then good is not good enough. So I told him that, and I told him he always tell me that if better is possible, then good is not good enough. So I went to him and I told him that. I told him I'm sorry that I could have done a better job securing my gap and doing my job for my team.
How many of your teammates feel the same way about Andy and stuff? I mean, yeah, you know how social media is, and fans are unhappy where the team's at. People always blame the coach. I mean, how much is the team still backing Andy here?
I mean, we love him. That's our coach. He does everything for us. We do anything for him. Like, it starts with me. I will do anything for Coach Andy. He coaches hard, and we want that. And again, I take full responsibility, and we all take full responsibility. We're pissed that we did not accomplish our goal today, but our goal is still in front of us, to win a Mountain West championship and a bowl game with academic excellence. So again, we're gonna go this week and then work as a team and work hard as we ever been, because this is not acceptable and we should have won that game. And our goal is still in front of us. We're gonna work so hard, and it starts with me. I need to attack the pocket more efficiently and keep leverage on the QB, because there's a couple times I could have made that tackle. I could have stopped the QB, and I take full responsibility for it. That I promise I'll do better for my team.
You guys go ahead 17-0, and then two touchdowns there in the last 5 minutes of the first half. Just what happened on those defensive breakdowns, and just how deflating was that for you guys?
Again, just doing our job, just getting out on third downs. We kind of struggle with that, and we just need to find the area that we need to grow in, and I'll promise you that we will grow. And Coach D, he's on us, and he coaches very hard as well, and I love Coach D to death. I would do anything for that guy, and I love this team with everything I have. This is my family, and I will do anything to protect them. Just need to do our 111th. Need to attack the quarterback a lot better. Our back end need to help the back end, and the front need to help the back end as well. So it kind of goes two-way street. It kind of goes vice versa. So just doing our 111th for the team.
I mean, the defense has kind of been put in some tough spots over the last 5 games of spots where it's like, hey, we need to stop here in the UCF game, this game. It hasn't gone your way. Definitely not for a lack of effort. How do you, in practice or mindset, like can you change things about that and how those go, or how do you work on that?
The coaches are honest on everything. We just need to do our job to get off the field. I mean, they are doing everything they can in their power. They're giving us new calls. They give us new fronts. They give us everything. They're trying so hard, and we appreciate whatever they're doing, because they spent a month time time in the facility. Sometimes they sleep at the facility. They don't even go home. So we just, again, it comes to us doing our job and doing our 111.
So, couple more. I mean, I know it's been the case a couple times this year, but DJ's out. You look around that defense at times, there's not a lot of upperclassmen out there. How much is just on you guys to, grow up and when the action is live, I guess?
I mean, the freshmen, like the little guys. I mean, the younger guys. Yeah, the younger guys need to step up. Next guy up mentality, and prove it every single day. That's on our back of our shirts, and just proving it every single day that we can do, and just next guy up mentality until we get our guys back and we're doing our job and just getting off the field and winning.
Did it feel like defensively almost a different game before the block field goal and after the block field goal? Because I think the next 2 defensive drives, I think they scored on both of those. Did it just kind of feel different after that?
I mean, we always want to keep our mentality is like, all right, it's 3 or nothing. And obviously we didn't accomplish that because they scored. But I promise you, we will get back to it, and we watch film and we fix what happened, and so it doesn't happen again.
What have you seen from Maddox in practice the last 5 months?
He's a dog. He's a dog. He wants it. He wants to work. He wants to be in. And Talon also a dog, and he wants to be in, and he wants to play. And it's the competition in practice. Like, it happens with me every single day in practice. It happens with every single D-line in practice. Are you gonna do your job? Are you gonna listen? Are you gonna be coachable? You're gonna play.
Anything else?
There he is, Ahmad Hassanein. I think he said this is unacceptable. We should have won that game. He said he was pissed. What'd you make from Ahmad there? I mean, I thought he, he's not a team captain. He's still a younger player, but I thought he deserved a lot of credit for what he said and how he handled that, and him coming in there to the post-game press conference. We talked to Billy Bowens as well. He took a lot of blame and accountability. We'll play some of those comments here in a little bit, but I thought much respect for his passion. Ahmad is such a leader. I thought that he was, not afraid to take the blame. Let's be honest. He is not even close to the reason they lost this game. But for him to come in there as a young player and say that, but you heard him there with the comments on Andy Avalos. I know a lot of you guys are ready to move on from Andy, and I brought that up, kind of in that he's getting a little heat on social media and stuff. And, you could hear from what he said that the players are still backing him 100%. So I'm trying to see the poll here. Is Andy Avalos still the right man for the job? 72% saying no, 28% saying yes. We're already at 59 votes. So if you're watching right now on YouTube, go ahead and give us your vote in the chat there. Is Andy Avalos still the right man for the job? We're at 73% to 27% right now. So go ahead and get that comment in there on Andy, or your vote in there, I guess, on Andy Avalos. I'm they're not going to make a move right now. I mean, obviously, I think it's going to be the end of the season if something happens, and let's wait and see what happens if the season. I mean, if they win their next whatever games and get back to 9-10 wins after the bowl game, he ain't going nowhere. So, I know it's easy when the team's bad. It's always the coach. Let's fire him. But I don't think they're at this point yet, and we'll see. How the rest of the season goes. You lose a couple more games and you go 7-5. That may 7-5 may do it. I mean, if they're 8-4, 9-3, whatever, but if you're 7-5 or even 6-6 or worse, there's going to be a real conversation, because let's be honest here, Boise State finally has the right athletic director to really move this thing going. And they're raising money. They're doing the end zone projects. They got the new scoreboard. I mean, everything is finally rolling. And I think Jeremiah Dickey is the perfect man for the job. And all of a sudden, now the on-field product is what they're having to fix for the first time in a long time here. So maybe I'm crazy saying 7-5 but maybe 7-5 gets him another year. I don't know. Maybe it has to be 6-6. I don't know. I think there is a scenario where after the season we could be talking about this, but they're not going to make some sort of in-season move with him, especially right now. I just don't see that happening. I mean, he only has couple years left on his contract. I think it was a 5-year contract, so the buyout's really not terrible. I mean, you're only talking about 2 more years on his contract. So I don't think that it's I don't think the money aspect of firing him is going to be the final straw. I think it's just whether or not if he is still the guy for the program moving forward. I think that is kind of the big question. So let's hear some more from Andy. We got 175 of you watching this right now, and I truly appreciate all of you. Again, BNN50 deal is the promo code. If you want to subscribe at BroncoNationNews.com, we'll give you a full year for just $50. We'd love to have you jump in and subscribe and read from Jordan, read from Prater, read from myself. I'm going to be doing a lot more writing here moving forward too. So we'd love to have you. $50 for a full year. And then, like I said, we're paying to fly us down here and putting in the effort on the expenses to give you this kind of coverage. So hopefully you guys will return the favor. These are free YouTube shows, obviously, but to have Andy's comments on here and the players, that there's an expense behind that. So appreciate all you guys that are supporting us and are already sponsors. Means a lot to us. And if you are able to, we'd love to have you. $50 for the year or $6.99 a month. Let's hear some more from Andy Avalos. First, want to tell you about Transportation Compliance Service. If you need a job, How about getting into the trucking industry? Transcomservice.com can help you every step of the way, whether it's the big rig on your screen, the Amazon truck in your neighborhood. Check them out, transcomservice.com, and they can help you get into the trucking industry. You need commercial insurance? How about United Commercial Insurance? 229-8222. Check them out, unitedcommercialinsurance.com. They can write business policy insurance in 44 states around the country. Check them out at United Commercial Insurance. BoiseDentistryCo.com. My dentist there, Dr. Meinert. Highly recommend you guys switch over to Dr. Meinert. Full family dentistry. They make an enjoyable experience for the full family to go to the dentist. 5 locations in the Treasure Valley. Again, check them out. Find a location near you at BoiseDentistryCo.com. And if you need to start eating healthier, how about Lean Feast? LeanFeast.com/Meridian. They're feeding the football team. They're feeding the basketball team. They got some NIL deals with Taylon Green, Ashton Genty, Tyson Degenhart. So it's healthy meals, meal prep. They're good in your microwave for up to 5 days. They do it by the weight, so you can get whatever protein, carb, veggie you want, and it's all done by the weight, and then it's good for 5 days, and it's all fresh, customized. So check them out, leanfeast.com/Meridian. Tell them you heard us talking about it on Bronco Nation News, and they'll hook you up with a good deal. So let's hear some more from Andy Avalos. This is Andy Avalos continuing talking about the game after the loss.
To be up 17-0, your defense got off to such a hot start with some of the stops, and it just flipped pretty quickly.
Yeah, we gave up some explosive plays, BJ, there in the second quarter, and we were doing a great job playing with some, playing in the run game, the pass game. We actually got lucky a little bit earlier before that on a play action where we lost our eyes, and Zion did a great job falling into the window and broke a play up. But up until that point, we were doing a really good job. But in this game, that's all it takes. We talk about, Coach D says it all the time, we live on the razor's edge on defense. If you give up explosive plays, it doesn't take much. And obviously we saw that today where, we gave up 14 points there late in the second quarter and moving in. And we always talk about winning the end of the first half. We didn't get that done today. And we were unable to score, points there in the third quarter and be productive with it. So when we look at it collectively, there's definitely things that we showed we can do well today, but we got to be more consistent with it. You can't come out and score 17 and then, give up 14 and have a drought. Ultimately, that's on me, and I will make sure that the way we compete at practice, the way we incorporate more play at situations so that we can stay in the better flow of the game throughout the course of practice, we'll make sure we get that done.
I don't know if you've seen the play or if your coaches in the box were telling you, but what did you think about that fumble there?
We didn't have a vantage point, and they didn't play it in the stadium very much. The coaches in the box, thought it was, it was splitting hairs call, and usually when it's that way, whatever the way they call it first, they're not going to, overturn it. So, we were in a situation there where, we fit the ball carrier in the backfield, and if we do a better job, with our knockback, tackling a positive angle situation, we're potentially not in that situation. That's one thing that I felt like we did a much better job of today was our tackling. We emphasized that coming out of last week, and there were some really good open field tackles today.
That last drive, you guys, the last defensive drive, they had 3 third down conversions. Just what were the struggles getting off the field there?
Well, we twofold. One of them, they subbed the personnel late, and we tried to match the personnel. And our operation as coaches, we got to do a better job. That starts with me and making sure that we get the right group on the field and get the right call. And then in the second, that last third down that they converted, it's in the 4 down zone. We got to make sure that we have a defense that is set and capable to handle the run and the pass.
What did Maddox do so well today to lead the offense?
He was, I think Jay said it best. He was very efficient in what he did. He saw the field and he completed passes. And again, in tight windows, he spread the ball around. There's a lot of guys with catches, and they were productive. And it was shown we get the ball in those guys' hands, and there was guys that had, a lot of yards after catch. So that's a huge positive for us as we move forward. And how we will be able to continue to grow and expand off of that and combine it with the run game. It's, on a day when you have 519 yards of total offense, but again, it's not always about, it's a lesson for the day, right? It's not always about the yards and what you do, because we put up all those yards, but we had a spout there where we weren't able to move. We weren't able to move the ball and put points on the board.
Last week you were saying, you're going to run to win, and it seemed like you had a really good balance today. What did you think of the balance from Bush's play calls of
Yeah, I mean, again, every week, I mean, it's dependent upon the team you're playing and what you're getting. That's the thing about football. You don't go in there and just keep doing what you're doing every week. This week, I mean, the reason why we hit on some of those plays, on the deeper shots, on the layered pass plays early on in the game, because they're flying up on the line of scrimmage, and so we anticipated that. We were able to get off to a faster start based off of what we saw on film and what they were going to have to do based off of what we did last week. And Bush did a nice job hitting some of those early on and putting the guys in position. We were able to move down the ball down the field. We were able to score 17 points. Now, obviously, how we adjust and where we go from there. One of the biggest things that we adjusted on, to get going in the run game in the second half was they had a couple of D tackles that we knew were going to be challenging in the middle, in the middle of their front. That's been the strength of their defense. And so being able to run more outside zone schemes versus inside stuff helped us. It helped Ashton get going, spread the field a little bit, and we just got to have more of a balance with that and how we're attacking on the ground.
You look at your track record, and you've never really had a bad defense that often. I mean, you've obviously, and there's a lot of season left, but how frustrating has it been, I guess, through 5 games? It just in key spots, key drives, key third downs. It just seems like plays we've seen in the past being made aren't being made right now.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, the thing about it is I love this defense. I love this defense. I love the guys on there. I love how we have guys that have played a lot of football, guys that haven't played very much football. Now they have. Now we go in the conference. We finish out, with the non-conference. We can go in the conference play. As we just spoke about in the locker room, I know what we're going to come and do tomorrow when we go to practice. I know we're going to show up and what it's going to look like on Tuesday when we go to practice. That's the part about being a coach. You got to understand that it's going to take growth. It's going to take consistency. It's about us as coaches being persistent, as mentors, as coaches, and the expectations of, the things that, we're teaching and how we're developing. But, I mean, I've coached a lot of defense, and not all of them have, all of them look different. The way you get things done, it's not cookie cutter. We've got to do a good job making sure that things that we're working to put into game plan and take away what offenses, are doing well also fits who our personnel is and who our guys are.
If it doesn't have anything to do with the day or whatever, that's fine. I just saw Ahmad come up to you after the game. He's obviously a pretty emotional guy. Can you share anything that
No, we just had a personal conversation. I mean, we've been working again. There's an example. You ask about the defense. He's played. He's been here for 3 years and what he's been able to do, but he's in a full-time role now, and there's a lot that comes along with that and how he's developing and how he's growing. I'll be honest with you, we make it very challenging. The standards are really high, and we want him to continue to grow. We know the type of player he can become, the type of player that the defense needs him to become, and that's all we want for him. And like the rest of the guys, I as a defensive coach and growing up and that being my background, I'm not going to get frustrated with stuff. There's always a desire and a passion to learn and grow and to get things to where they can be. And Ahmed is just an example of that, and that's why I love him, and as well as the rest of the guys. I mean, Ahmed works tremendously hard. It's not always perfect with him or with anybody else in terms of their execution, but we're not looking for perfection. We're looking for consistency, and I know we'll be able to build that.
All right, we'll cut it off there. If you want to keep hearing the rest of Andy Avalos, he spoke for about 15 minutes. You can that'll be up on the YouTube channel after the show is over here, the full comments on the YouTube channel. By the way, shout out to Jordan K. I let him fly back on the BNN jet tonight. So Jordan K is already airborne back for Boise. I was maybe going to take the flight back myself with our great sponsor that likes to remain nameless, but decided this was probably a post-game show I didn't want to shorten or blow off tonight, and so was happy to give Jordan my seat. So safe travels, and for Jordan K, who is airborne heading back to Boise already. He did file a full story already, 700 plus words on BroncoNationNews.com, and then he'll be updating that on the flight, and you'll have some quotes from Andy and some of the players and things like that after the game. So shout out to Jordan and our great sponsor, and he is on his way back tonight. So I'll be jealous about 4:30 tomorrow morning when I'm waking up, and then when our first flight leaves, we're going the other direction to Atlanta. and then turning around and going back the other direction. 4-hour flight from Atlanta to Boise tomorrow, but hopefully the Wi-Fi is working. We'll watch some football tomorrow, and we'll try to make do with our Sunday. Looking forward to getting back, seeing my wife and kids. Love you guys. Miss you. See you tomorrow, and hopefully make part of my son's baseball game tomorrow if I can get back in time. So looking forward, obviously, to that. Let's take a look at some of the stats from tonight's game. Obviously, the final score, 35-32. Boise State had more first downs. They had more total yards. Offensively, they had, a lot of the better stats offensively. They just couldn't make that final stop defensively when they really needed to. It was the swing there at the end of the second quarter, giving up 2 touchdowns, and then it was the swing there when with the blocked kick, and then obviously not been able to make that last stop there later in the game. So let's look at some stats here. We'll keep this thing rolling. We still have 153 of you watching this. So as long as you guys want to watch and talk about the game in the comments, then we'll continue to bring you a show here. We got Billy Bowens we can hear from as well. But as I said, I don't leave till tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. It's only 8:30 here. I got nowhere to go. So we can talk as long as you guys would like about this one after Boise State falls 35-32. Boise State, again, 519 yards of offense on 70 total plays. You had 375 passing yards, 144 rushing yards. Talon Green was 12 of 24 for 200 yards. And then you had Maddox Madsen, 11 of 14 for 175 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's on 3 drives. Maddox Madsen, 11 of 14, 175 yards and 2 touchdowns. And I'll be honest, when they brought Maddox Madsen in the second quarter, the third drive, maybe it was late in the first quarter, the third drive, I was already kind of confused at that point. What is the point of bringing in Maddox Madsen there? You're just kind of messing with, I know it was planned, but you're kind of messing with Talon Green already, I think, by even going back and forth. I thought that was weird. Now, when at the end of the game, he came in and they actually went with him. I mean, I think that it's pretty obvious now that we do have some sort of a quarterback, controversy, battle, whatever you want to call it. Kareem says Utah State is giving Colorado State or Utah Tech giving CSU a run for their money. I don't know what that score is. We'll check that out in a little bit. I think it's still fairly early in that game, I thought. Logan says, why did Talon get pulled out? Because they weren't moving the ball, and they knew at that point they were going to have a lot of passing yards, and they were not having much success passing the ball with Talon Green downfield, and they thought maybe that Maddox would give him a better chance at that point, and he did. So, again, 11 of 14, 175 yards and 2 touchdowns. You had 5 catches for Eric McAllister for 98 yards. Ashton Genty had 5 catches for 53 yards and 2 more touchdowns. Steph Cobbs, 5 catches for 49 yards. And how about Billy Bowens? We've been kind of critical of Billy. All you guys have been critical of Billy. It's been a rough year for him, but he had 3 catches for 89 yards, and I thought played better today. And so give Billy Bowens a little bit of credit. I thought number 18 stepped up today a little bit. 3 catches for 89 yards, and he deserves a little bit of credit. But otherwise, James Ferguson Reynolds, the punting numbers came down a little bit. 44.8 was the average on 5 punts, but still pretty solid game for him. I mentioned some of the other stats. No turnovers for the offense. Boise State only 3 of 10 on third down. So offensively, 3 of 10, just couldn't really do much there. And on defensively, they were 6 of 13 on third down. So gave up some key third downs to Memphis. Boise State really struggles defensively on third downs this season. They came in 84th in the country, and they give up just under 50% again on third down. So I'm sure the coaches are going to be watching that tape on the flight back and looking at some of those third downs where they just couldn't get off the field. But 448 was the total yards on 63 plays for Memphis. And again, time of possession, Boise State was basically like 33-27. So a lot of the stats, you look at it and you think Boise State won the game, but that blocked field goal literally ended up being the difference. And if you joined us late, we can go back and maybe play the comments about the blocked field goal from Andy. But that was obviously a key swing in the game was when they decided to kick the field goal, not go for it. The field goal gets blocked, gets returned for a touchdown, and that put them behind. And that was, that was it. So let's see whatever else we got coming here. I mean, a lot of people are saying it, but I mean, are you guys like legitimately worried now about either Talon Green and or Ashton Genty transferring? And I guess those guys are roommates. They're good friends. I mean, if Talon Green transfers, do you worry about Ashton Genty transferring more than if it was just Talon? I mean, are those guys going to go somewhere together as a package deal? And again, that's one of the reasons I don't think they're ready to give up on Talon Green. I think Talon Green, in my opinion, starts against San Jose. I could be wrong. I'm usually wrong. But I think Talon Green starts, and I think they give him another chance. I do think Maddox Madsen will play some more, but I don't think that they're ready to give up just yet on Talon Green, because I said it earlier in the show, but if you joined us late, if Talon Green does not start on Saturday, I think you're basically handing the keys over to Maddox Madsen. I don't think Talon Green comes off the bench. I think if you're starting Maddox Madsen, he's your quarterback moving forward, and so I just – I don't know if Talon Green in this era wants to sit around and be a backup quarterback with all the talent that he has. So I think they have a big decision to make, but I think they stick with Talon Green, and they're not going to tell us on Monday. I mean, they're not going to tell us till Saturday. They're going to let them compete all week in practice, but I don't think they're ready to give up on Talon Green at this point. I do think Maddox Madsen will get some more time, but I think Talon Green is your starting quarterback, at least for the San Jose State game next week. Just my opinion. Could be wrong. I'm wrong all the time, like I said. But I just don't think it's a massive decision that affects this team for this year, for next year, for multiple years. But you know what? If the coaches decide they need to salvage this season and win games, and the best chance of them to do that is with Maddox Madsen at quarterback, then that's the decision they have to make. I mean, if they think that Maddox Madsen gives them the best chance, then he needs to be the starting quarterback. So we'll see what happens. But I think it was part of the reason when fans wanted Talon Green starting last year and they stuck with Hank Bachmeier for as long as they did, the 4 games. I think a good chunk of that reason was because they didn't want Hank Bachmeier to transfer, and they knew he'd be done. So I think they stick with Green. Right or wrong, I don't know, but we'll see moving forward. And I also know a lot of you guys don't want to hear it, but they're sticking with Andy Avalos. He's not going to be fired on the flight back. They're not going to make a change at head coach. I just don't see that happening. A lot of season left, and I don't think the buyout's the issue. They don't owe him a ton of money. Like I said, you only have 2 years left. If they think they're better off without him, they'll have the money. They'd fire him, but I just don't think that happens. I don't think they're ready to do that right now. And so I think that at least for the rest of the season, Andy Avalos is still going to be Boise State's head coach. So we got a lot of comments still rolling in here. What a crazy game. I mean, Boise State gets the 17-0 lead, gives up the late touchdowns before half, and then the game obviously swings. We've talked about, for this whole show on that blocked field goal. Where is the point that we fire him? I would say, I don't know. I guess if you lose the next 2 games and you're 2-5 going into the bye week, maybe you make the change at the bye week. But I don't think that's happening. I think that Andy's going to get through the season. And like I said before, if you're 6-6, 5-7, maybe 7-5, I don't know. But at the end of the season, maybe they decide to make a change. The funny thing is, how many of you would take Brian Harsin back right now? I mean, maybe it's an emotional thing to say. Maybe Brian Harsin, for as tough as he was to deal with the media sometimes, for as tough as and I get it, he had some of the same struggles. They didn't win a lot of conference championship games. They had some struggles, but you think about how good it was with Brian Harsin. And I know there were a lot of fans that were excited for a change, excited for Andy to come in, but he's sitting around in Boise. I mean, it ain't happening. I'll tell you that. It ain't happening, but it's just kind of an interesting thought. Would you take Brian Harsin back as Boise State's head coach right now? Because he is literally out of a job. Looks like you guys are saying no. So all you guys, I guess my idea there is voting down. But Mike Sanford is available as well. I said I don't think he would want to do that, but maybe he wants to move back to Boise at some point. If that were to happen, I hope Bronco Nation News is breaking that. I'll tell you that. If Mike Sanford becomes Boise State's head coach, I would love for that, and that would be awesome for BNN. But we better be the ones breaking that news if that were to happen. But nothing's happened with Andy Avalos till the season ends. They're going to get through the season, and they're going to see what what things are looking like there. This is the Lithia Florida Boise postgame show. Lithia Florida Boise, check out all of their new vehicles. They got the electric F-150 Lightning. They got the Mustang Mach-E. A lot of great stuff going on at Lithia Florida Boise. We appreciate Jim Sturk and company for their support. The Rains family has a new vehicle. It's about a year old now, or a year and a half, but we love our vehicle from Lithia Ford, and you will as well. So check them out. View their full inventory of vehicles online at lithiafordboise.com. If you're watching on Facebook or Twitter, we ask you to please switch over to YouTube. And we're not ending the show yet. We're not going anywhere. We got time as long as you guys do, but I just wanted to throw a plug in there for our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Bronco Nation News. So flip on over to that. We would love to have you on the YouTube channel. And that's the easiest way to chat with everybody in the chat. And we can put your comments and things up on the screen. So please join us in the YouTube app here moving forward. We got a lot of comments rolling in. Urban Meyer is not going to be Boise State's head coach. Let's get off that train there. He is not. Wouldn't be surprised if some breaking news occurs within these next few weeks. I just don't think it's happening. I still think they're going to win some games. They lost by 3 points. On the road, I'm not saying this team is a great team. They're not, but I just don't think that Andy Avalos in year 3 is going to get fired. I just don't. I'm sorry, folks. I know you want him to go, but it ain't happening. So let's see what else we got here. Looks like FS Dreams. Talon can take a seat too. Jeff Choate or Gary Patterson. I mean, Jeff Choate was the other finalist. That's who Andy Avalos went and met where Jeremiah Dickey went and flew and met with him and Bob Carney. He interviewed Jeff Choate before he went and interviewed Andy Avalos. So that was one of the choices that they could have had. They chose Andy instead of Jeff Choate. And I'm not ready to give up on Andy yet. I still think that, I still think that it's not looking good. And by the way, I think they're now 2-8? Boise State now 2-8 in non-conference play against FBS teams under Andy Avalos. So we're not counting the non-Division I games, or the FBS, because they got a couple FCS wins in there. But they're 4 would that be 2-8? So they're 4-8 in the 12 non-conference games under Andy, including 2-8 against Division I teams. So they did beat BYU and they beat UTEP. But they now dropped to 2-8 against FBS teams under Andy Avalos in the 2-8 in 2-8. Yep, 2-8. Hey, my kids are watching. Naismith, Nelson, love you guys. Thanks for watching. I'll be seeing you tomorrow. Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow and hopefully getting back in time for Naismith's baseball game. So love you both, and I'll see you tomorrow. And then I'm home for 2 weeks. So looking forward to that with the family. But 2-8 is the record. Couple of comments. Knowing my kids are watching, I'm not going to put them on the screen with some of the language there. But I mean, that's not great. 2-8, and again, you have a BYU win and a UTEP home win. Otherwise, that's it. They've lost to UCF, to Oklahoma State. You go down the line. Now here, Memphis, Washington. UCF twice, I guess. So yeah, it's been a rough go, and for this program to be a program that's kind of thrived on winning the big games early in the season. You're 2-8, and you're starting, at 500 or even behind 500 right now, 2-3, trying to kind of salvage the season. So, we'll see what happens. Boise State, they're at the crossroads here, 2-3 for the first time since like the late 90s, I believe. I'll have to go back and check here while I'm playing the Billy Bowens interview, but we're in rare air here in terms of how long it's been since we've had to look stuff up for Boise State and where they're going. And Andy's, what's Andy's overall record now? Is that 18-13? Is that right? Or 19-13? I'll have to look that up as well. They were 7-5 and then 10-4. So he was 7-10. So he was 17-9 coming into the year. So now he is 19-12. Is that right? 19-12, if I do the math here on the air, as Boise State's head coach. And I know you guys know this, but I know the competition is certainly different. They're playing tougher teams now. The Mountain West is different. I get it. But 17-12 in 2.5 seasons. Chris Peterson was 92-12 in his 8 years as the Boise State coach. So in 2.5 years, Andy Avalos has already lost as many games as Chris Peterson lost in his entire tenure at Boise State. He was 92-12 at Boise State. Andy Avalos, I believe, if I added it up correctly, now 19-12 as Boise State's head coach. So let's hear from Billy Bowens. We roll on here on the Lithia Florida Boise postgame show. Our title sponsor, of course, rowpaint.com. Check them out, folks. The concrete coatings, I highly recommend them. We've had it done twice on our back patio and in our garage. We're so happy with it. We'll be having a new commercial starting soon. Leon Rice got his garage done from rowpaint.com. So highly recommend rowpaint.com and row painting for any of your concrete coatings, your industrial paintings, your commercial paintings, residential. Do you want to touch up your siding, the interior painting, anything you got, they can do it for you at rowpaint.com. So we appreciate them. Also appreciate Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com. There's a branch pretty much on every corner, but the easiest one is right here on your phone in your pocket, because I do all my banking mobile online, and their eBranch mobile online banking is so easy to use. So go support BNN by making the switch to Idaho Central Credit Union, like I believe about 1 in 4 Idahoans do, and you will not be disappointed with Idaho Central Credit Union. We have the Tyson Degenhardt show coming up on Tuesday, by the way. We're going to give some love to the softball and soccer teams, get some of those athletes on there with Tyson, and I believe RJ Keene may make an appearance as well. So then don't forget the scrimmage. Saturday is the basketball scrimmage, 3:30. They're going to scrimmage against themselves. You can go check that out at Extra Mile Arena right after the Bronco walk. Make plans to go to the scrimmage at 3:30, and then head into the football game against San Jose State next week. So keep the comments coming, keep the questions coming. We're not in a hurry to get out of here. Let's hear from Billy Bowens, Boise State wide receiver. Again, he had 3 catches for 89 yards, his best game of the season. Here's Billy after the loss.
To be up 17-0 and kind of let them slip away like that now, what are the emotions like? How tough is that?
I mean, it's unfortunate. It happens. It's, it's sport, it's football. So I mean, we fought hard, finished the game like we're trained to do. So that's all I say on that.
It seemed like you and Maddox had a nice connection there towards the end. Is he just that calm and that poised like when he came into the game?
Yeah, I mean, he does a great job of keeping his composure. When his number's called, he comes in and does the best for the team, and we know you got to step up too and just make plays for the guys. So that's all we tried to do.
Really, how good is Maddox at operating within the timing of the offense? I mean, that post you caught at the end, kind of threw it to space, and it was perfect, So how good is he at that?
I mean, like, it starts with his composure. He's trained. We always tell him, stay ready, and that's our motto here for everyone. You never know when your number is going to be called, so stay ready. And when your time comes, just go out there and ball, play loose, go out there and make the best of your opportunity. And we know how, as being an older guy, I got to help step up, and he put it in a good spot for me and just trying to make plays.
How good did that? I know the outcome's not what you wanted, but for you, man, like, how good did it feel to make a couple plays there at the end?
It always feels good. I love Boise State, love the community, love our team, our family, and I just always want to help out as much as I can. And it felt great to go back out there and make some plays for the family.
You're obviously super close with Talon, and I know this probably can't be the easiest thing for him. What do you kind of say to him after a game like this?
Stay in it. Keep your head in it. I know it's football. Like, everyone has to, just keep bouncing back, keep fighting as much as you can. That's what we preach. That's what we teach. Adversity always strikes. Response is the biggest thing in life. So that's what we always preach. Tell them I love them. I still got your back. Everyone does, and we all love you. Let's just bounce back and get back to it.
You guys had the ball down there 4th down. You just thought you were going to go for it. Then you kicked the field goal. It gets blocked. I mean, you guys were obviously about to snap the ball, or you did. I mean, were you excited to go for that there and try to get the touchdown?
Absolutely. But we trust our coaching staff, and we trust them with the fullest. So whatever they say, whatever they call, we're going to go out there and do our best to operate it.
And I know you're not expecting that to happen, but how big of a swing was that then when they blocked the field goal and take it back?
I mean, it's everything. We always preach special teams, game changing, and it could be 1 to 2 plays just like that. So they made the best of their opportunity, and you guys saw what happened.
How frustrating is that for you guys as an offense, just to kind of have a swing like that, also the swing, you guys go up 17-0 and they score 14 quick points. Just, how frustrating are those swings like that?
It's football, and like I said, we got to preach the response. So when stuff like that happens, hey, let's go, let's bounce back. We look at each other, we don't bat an eye, let's go. What can we do to be better? What can we do to do our jobs?
What, on that 4th and 1, Andy was saying, hey, we were looking for a specific defense or whatever. What look were you trying to get, and what did they come out in?
Each play is specific to its own look we want. And that's kind of what game planning and offense is. So, it just depended on what we wanted. If we see this in certain things based off tendencies, we don't like it, just based off of what we're expecting from them. And I mean, like I said, I trust the coaches to the fullest. I trust Coach Andy, Coach Bush, and Coach Miller, everyone in the staff. So if they call it off, it wasn't something that we loved, and, we live with the outcome.
Ashton Genty again today. There are players who would love to have 4 touchdowns in their careers. He did it in 4 quarters today. How would you just sum up what he continues to do and mean to this team?
I mean, there's no one more deserving. He works his tail off every day. He brings a great mentality and attitude. He's someone I love being around. Always puts a smile on my face. I just love being around that guy. So when things like that happen, good things happen to good people, especially people that work hard for it.
How cool is it to see, for him to kind of adjust to, so right out of the gate, it was pretty obvious what Memphis was trying to do or who they were focused on, and he still just kind of, pounds the stone or whatever you guys say, and he ends up, well over 100 yards.
Right. I mean, that's just him. That's a testament to his work ethic and how he shows up every day. And our O-line is incredible. They're playing out of their mind. You got to give kudos to them, and they're playing so good, and the confidence of running behind them, regardless what the defense is doing, is always going to be there. So.
Anything else?
I'm drenched in sweat. I mean, it was hot today. I wasn't even running around. I mean, you guys were playing a football game. Can you maybe kind of talk about that, the heat in the community, maybe in the second half? I'm not sure if there's any critique.
Yeah, I mean, we were prepared for it. We always do this thing, and our coaching staff does a great job of getting us out there and doing some things in camp and leading up to this week to get us prepared for this. We're hydrating, always staying in it. We know what to expect. We weren't surprised by it. So got out here, got some work in, and, it was everything we expected.
All right. Thank you all.
Well, there he is, Billy Bowens, and we appreciate him for jumping on. And tough one tonight for Boise State as they are at the airport, either airborne or heading out shortly from Memphis. It's about a little over 3 hour and 15-minute flight, I think, back. So they should get back at a decent hour tonight, but I can't imagine that's going to be a fun flight back after Boise State falls. And there's going to be a lot of film. And this is kind of funny. Maybe BJ can get a moving company on board as advertisers. They can park a couple of trucks in front. Oh, man. I'm just telling you guys, they're not going to fire Andy Avalos right now. So you may want it, but it ain't happening right now. So just keep that in mind. Let's see. Was the 4th and 1 play before they called the timeout going to be a pass play or a designed QB run or draw? Don't know the answer to that because I was watching Andy and I didn't see when they snapped the ball, what actually happened. But and that was part of the rub some had. Well, you snapped the ball. Andy, if you missed it earlier, said that they didn't get the look they wanted. So, who knows? It wasn't a great look. You obviously, I guess they were looking for a certain look and then they didn't get it, but they're waiting, till the ball was about to be snapped to decide that. I don't know, but Andy ran all the way down there and then called the timeout there near the goal line. I don't know. It's an interesting just the way it all happened with that. And then, he obviously thought about going for it and then changed his mind. I don't know if what he said was, satisfying enough to all you guys. But that was kind of the reason behind that. You guys are talking about Talon Green. Talon starts. San Jose, not a strong team, will win that one, and TG will do enough. I agree. I think Talon Green is your starting quarterback, at least for the next game. So we'll see what happens. I agree with Sean. The season is not over yet. Get a grip. You're not going to want to hear it, but they are 1-0 in Mountain West play. So I get it. It's not enough. The standard is not losing all these non-conference games. The standard is not being, essentially nowhere to be found in the national conversation throughout the season. If they run the table and go 9-3 and win the Mountain West 10-3, like some people might even say that's not good enough anymore. So I get it. I understand it. This is probably an 8-4 football team at best, maybe 7-5. But with the no divisions, we'll see if it's enough to still get them into the conference championship game. And if you are trying to have a positive outlook, trying to keep positive feelings about this, that's where you kind of start with, is that it was a non-conference game and did not impact Boise State's Mountain West hopes. So a lot of questions after this one, not a lot of answers. Who's the quarterback moving forward? Is Talon Green still on this team moving forward? If he gets benched, does he transfer? If Talon Green transfers, does Ashton Genty transfer too? A lot to be decided in the next little bit here. And again, Jordan Kay is going to have a full story up. Mike Prater is going to have a full column up. Tons of great content coming to Bronco Nation News. We'd love to have your support. BNN 50 deal is the promo code BNN50 deal, and that gets you a complete year for $50 of Bronco Nation News coverage. And we'd love to have you jump on board. More importantly, the YouTube channel is free. So if Nicholas Bowman or some of you guys that are watching on Facebook or Twitter, please switch over to YouTube. It's free to subscribe on YouTube. Just subscribe at the bottom of the screen. I think it's over in this corner. Hit that subscribe button. It's youtube.com/Bronco Nation News. Help us get our subscriber numbers up on YouTube. These are free social media shows that we do for you guys after the games. And so hope you're enjoying them. Hope you support the sponsors that make these shows possible. Lithia Ford of Boise, Idaho Central Credit Union, rowpaint.com, Taco Bell, BVA, all of our great sponsors, the Blue and Orange Store, Lean Feast, Matt Bauscher, Mark Ridley and Ridley's Family Markets, Bauscher Real Estate, United Commercial Insurance, all of our great sponsors. We're very thankful. Boise Dentistry Co. I just hope everybody supports the sponsors, help, TCS, by the way, Transportation Compliance Service as well, and Circa Sports, Timberstone Golf Course. We got a lot of great community partners, a lot of great sponsors, and they're not going to want to keep advertising, which means we can't keep doing these shows for free if they're not getting a return on their investment. So if you're looking for a paint company, please use Row Painting and tell them it was because of us at BNN. If you're looking for a new vehicle, please go to Lithia and make sure you tell them it was because of Bronco Nation News. The same with Idaho Central Credit Union and all of our other great sponsors. So we could not do this presentation without them, our sponsors, and we cannot do this with you guys as well. So hopefully you'll consider the $6.99 a month or the $50 yearly subscription at BroncoNationNews.com. We'd love to have you subscribe. We got plenty of basketball. I know some of you guys are saying, I'm not paying to read about this crappy team right now. I get it. I'm right there with you. We do have basketball season starting up. We're going to have a lot of basketball coverage as well. And as I said, your financial support helps us be able to send me and Jordan both down here to Memphis to give you coverage and let you hear from Andy and stuff like that. So if you jumped in late, the full Andy Avalos press conference is up on YouTube. You can go check it out right now. The full Ahmad Hassanein press conference is up on YouTube. You can check that out right now. We'll get Billy Bowens up as well. So we really appreciate all you guys for checking us out. One of the better attended live shows that we've had. And we're very thankful for all you guys for the comments, for telling your friends, for watching, for clicking like on the video, for subscribing, all that great stuff. It helps in the algorithms and things. So please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. And don't give up hope, Boise State fans. Long season to go. And still a lot of games left. And we'll have you covered at BroncoNationNews.com. Again, Jordan's first story is already up. You can go read it right now. And then Mike Prater's going to have a column tomorrow. We'll have a story from myself, a lot of other coverage as well. So you can check it out, BroncoNationNews.com, if you are a paying subscriber. Hopefully you'll jump on board. If you're not, I can only imagine what Mike Prater is going to have to say about this one. So check out his column tomorrow at BroncoNationNews.com. And I think I said the Blue and Orange Store, but for some reason, if I didn't, the Blue and Orange Store is certainly a big sponsor of ours as well, and we appreciate them. Go buy your Boise State gear from them the next time you're doing that, and please let them know too. Like when you do this, and you use one of our sponsors, if you go use Dr. Meinert for your dentist or any of our other great sponsors, Lean Feast is one that I think you really should go check out and get some of their great food. Taco Bell, like tell the people it's because you hear it on BNN and that you appreciate them, and it goes a long way. If you go buy a hat at the Blue and Orange Store and tell them to let the manager know they heard about it on Bronco Nation News, like that goes a long way in helping them want to renew their investment. Or the social media shout outs help as well. Post something, tag me, with one of the sponsors, and I'll make sure they see it. So thanks a lot, guys. Truly appreciate your support. We have a 6 a.m. flight tomorrow going the opposite direction to Atlanta, and then about a 4-hour flight from Atlanta to Boise. So fingers crossed the internet is working so we can watch some football tomorrow and get some work done on the way back. So appreciate all you guys, truly do. And it's going to be, the sun will rise tomorrow. There will be a football game on Saturday, and there's more games to play. As I said, basketball season is getting closer as well. So big week. What are they going to do at quarterback? I don't think they'll announce anything on Monday. I don't think they'll announce anything all week. And I think Saturday, Taylon Green will start. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they think that this team's best chance to win moving forward is Maddox Madsen, and let's turn the keys over to him. And they know they have C.J. Tiller ready for next year as well. Maybe they start the Maddox Madsen era now. And if that happens, Taylon Green's probably transferring. So he maybe waits till the end of the season because you lose the year now with the 5 games anyway. He's played in 5 games and the limit is 4. So I don't know if he transfers, immediately, but I'll tell you this, Boise State's lucky they've played 5 games instead of 4. If you'd only played 4 games at this point, Taylon Green could be like, I'm saving this year. I am out. But I don't know if he has the extra year because he already redshirted. So I'd have to think about that. I don't think Taylon Green actually has an extra year that he could save. So maybe that didn't matter as much. But Taylon Green, Ashton Genty, their futures on this roster. Who is starting at quarterback? Are there any changes to the coaching staff? I don't think there will be, but a lot of stuff going on, and we will have you covered 24/7 at Bronco Nation News. You can keep this discussion going in the chat, or you guys can go over to our message boards. We're trying to get the message boards going a little bit over there at BNN. So jump on over and click on the forums button. Make a post or 2 in the message boards. We'd love to have folks start chatting in the message boards as well. And while you're there, hopefully you'll sign up for a subscription. BNN 50 deals, that promo code that gets you a full year for $50. Because like I said, a lot going on this week, and we're going to have you covered all week. Mike Prater's column will drop tomorrow evening. We got Jordan, we got myself, and then every morning, 9 a.m. next week, we'll have our show telling you all about what's going on in Bronco Nation. So 9 a.m. on Monday, John Mallory and I will break this down again and see where we go from here. Ball Talk's going to be really exciting. Man, Monday night, Ball Talk with Johnny and Sanford is going to be one you won't want to miss. Make plans 8 p.m. on Monday. Ball Talk with Sanford and Johnny. That's going to be a heck of a show as they talk about some unprecedented times for Boise State here and where they kind of go for here. So appreciate all you guys. Again, thanks to all of our sponsors, our major sponsors, Lithia, Ford of Boise, rowpaint.com, Idaho Central Credit Union, Taco Bell, BVA, and the Blue and Orange Store. We appreciate all of our sponsors. Thank you so much, guys, for your support. And I don't know if I can still get to some barbecue or not tonight on a Saturday night at 9 o'clock. Probably not, but we'll try to find something to eat real quick. And as I said, 4 o'clock wake-up call probably tomorrow morning with a 6 a.m. flight. So hope you guys have a good Sunday. Root for the San Francisco 49ers. They are the Circa Sports, the Bronco Nation News team entry in the survivor pool, $9.2 million. The 9,000 entries are down to like 2,200 or so. 75% of the pool is gone. BNN is still alive, and we're going with the San Francisco 49ers tomorrow as our survivor pick. They are playing the Arizona Cardinals, so we'll try to keep that going. And remember, if we win the $9 million, we'll refund all you guys your subscription and have a big BNN party, and that'll be a lot of fun if that happens. So root for BNN. We're going with the 49ers. Hope your NFL teams win tomorrow. Hope you guys have a good day. Thank you so much for checking out Bronco Nation News. We'd love your support. I'm not going to get drunk on Bill Street. Bill, I like your comment there. Good thought, but no, I'm going to get some food and get some sleep. But I was on Beale Street last night. Had a lot of fun. Not sure I can do it 2 nights in a row, though. So awesome place, though. It was a kind of a cool little town, and Beale Street was cool. And went over and saw the Lorraine Motel today. I went to Central Barbecue for lunch and saw the hotel where Martin Luther King Jr. was shot, and saw the museum there, and that was pretty cool. So there's some neat things to do here, and that was a powerful thing, getting a chance to see that spot in that hotel today. So I highly recommend you check that out if you do make it to Memphis at some point. So thanks a lot. Have a great Sunday. Have a great rest of your weekend. We'll talk to you back in Boise on Monday morning, but we'll have full coverage on social media. I'm going to get a column out. I mentioned Prater and Jordan, lots of stuff coming. So go check out BroncoNationNews.com. Go in the forums, make some posts on the message boards, and appreciate all you guys. Love you. You guys make this job fun. You make BNN and what we're doing here fun because of the comments, because of the interactions on social media, all the chat, the 400 or 500 comments we had with you guys chatting with each other. I appreciate that. At least have a shot and a beer, BJ. I may do that today, but I may save that tomorrow before my flight back. So maybe we'll have one in the Atlanta airport. Maybe I can convince Jay Tuss to have one with me before we head on that 4-hour flight back to Boise. But appreciate you guys. Like I was saying, you guys make this thing fun. Your comments, your interactions, your seeing people around town, whatever. It makes what I do fun. Getting a chance to kind of help get you guys closer to the team and connected as much as we can through our platforms and social media and our stories and things with your favorite team, Boise State. So been a lot of fun. We're going to keep it rolling. Hopefully the Broncos can start getting some wins. It's more fun to talk about wins than it is losses. Appreciate you guys. Have a great rest of your evening. We'll talk to you Monday morning at 9 a.m. with John Mallory. In the meantime, go subscribe, go read BroncoNationNews.com, and we will talk to you later from the Liberty Bowl Stadium. Signing off, this is BJ Rains, Lithia Florida Boise postgame show. Boise State falls 35-32. They'll get back into Mountain West play hosting San Jose State on Saturday night, and we'll get you ready all week on Bronco Nation News and BroncoNationNews.com. Good night, everybody.